chalk downland of mid-Dorset between Salisbury and Blandford Forum, there is a small village called Tarrant Hinton, where, for the last 42 years, there has been a gathering of steam-powered agricultural and fairground machinery that has grown from humble beginnings into one of the largest annual assemblies of steam and vintage vehicles anywhere in the world. There are over 60 showman's traction engines alone, and to provide a suitable musical ambience, there are no less than 44 fairground organs sprinkled around the showground. The event is called the Great Dorset Steam Fair, but this epithet hardly does justice to the fabulous congregation of steam-powered machinery. This annual celebration of vintage steam power is not just a major attraction for the general public, but also a chance for the owners and enthusiasts to get together each year to swap stories, tips and spare parts to keep their lovingly restored machines on the road for another year. There is a fairground where traditional Victorian carousels and carnival wheels compete with the latest extreme rides to give the punters all the thrills of the fair. But the show has not forsaken its agricultural roots. There are demonstrations of steam ploughing, where two ploughing engines placed at opposite ends of the furrows provide the push-pull power to the cable-drawn plough. And what traditional fair would be complete without a Punch and Judy show?
Bunch of squashages, squashages, squashages. I can't say sausages, and I said it. No, I haven't. I'll go and get them right away. Oh, I've got a lovely bunch of squashages. Are they nice? Having these for tea tonight, but I've got to put the oven on to cook them. Now, you won't try and eat them whilst I'm away. No, boys and girls, if Mr. Bunch tries to eat our squashages, will you shout for Joey and I'll come up and sort him out? Don't touch the squashages. They're sausages. Do you like sausages? Yeah, I like sausages. I love sausages. I love sausages.
These beautifully restored mechanical marionettes have an evocative allure. Not all the displays are mechanical. We enter a time walk in this montage of a 1940s style picnic in the countryside. The time warp continues in the vintage and classic car display as we are transported back to a time when Britain was still a dominant world player in car manufacturing. The vehicles range from the famous MG Mark to the Austin 7 and the incomparable Rough Superior. The displays of steam-powered threshing and binding machines have a special place in the Great Dorset Steam Fair, because this was how the fair originally started. The founder of the fair, Michael Oliver, together with his colleague John Garrett, took a pair of 1930s McCormick binders from Child Ockford to the top of Bush's Hill at Stourpayne in 1969 and started using them to bale hay. A crowd gathered around to watch, not interested in the new combine harvesters working on Hanford Farm just across the way. Michael Oliver was fascinated by steam power, and at that moment he knew he had discovered a way of sharing his enthusiasm with a broader public. He rented a few hundred acres at Stourpayne for a show billed as the first great working of steam engines, as it was then called, and the rest is history. Michael Oliver went on to become something of a Dorset celebrity, if there is such a thing in this most bucolic of counties. He was awarded an MBE for creating what has become arguably the greatest steam show on earth. Steam engines are hungry beasts that need vast quantities of coal to sustain their energy, and the local coal merchant always does a roaring trade at the Dorset Steam Fair. One of the many fascinating demonstration areas at the fair contains the steam-powered sawmills. Enormous blades carve through chunks of log in scenes reminiscent of a horror movie. Health and safety takes a back seat as the serrated teeth cut through tree trunks like a hot knife through butter. The main attraction of the show is the heavy haulage arena, where the traction engines, steamrollers, steam lorries, steam cars and steam omnibuses zip in between the real stars of the show, the heavy haulage demonstrations. The low loader carries a 150-ton railway steam locomotive. The highlight of the show has to be the Pickford's Transporter, with 4 traction engines on the front and another at the rear. What a sight! All the famous names of British engineering that were at the heart of the Industrial Revolution are represented. Fowler, Marshall, Burrell, Garrett, Foden, Aveling and Porter, Ruston. Another low-loader is carrying a tank on loan from a nearby tank museum. The show covers a vast range of vintage machinery and agricultural demonstrations. There are not just steam-powered vehicles, but classic commercial and military lorries, tractors, miniature steam engines, motorcycles, traditional rural crafts. The list goes on. And of course, when you've been shoveling coal into a traction engine all day, you need a bit of R&R. The new Forest Plonkers provide their own special blend of rustic charm.
Thank you very much, very kind, very kind. I met a lovely fellow at half-time. He comes all the way here from Texas, ladies and gentlemen, and there he is. If you got Death Valley in Texas, is it Death Valley in Texas? Oh, Death Valley's further over, is it?
Arizona.
Arizona, all right, I was thinking...
Who is Arizona anyway?
Harry's boss, yeah.
What's this guy doing then? Drilling, broiling, boiling? He's not doing nothing doing that. That's why he's still there.
They don't call Bournemouth Death Valley, it is God's waiting room.
For those in need of a bit of rock and roll in their R&R, the cream of the local bands are on hand to finish the day off on a lively note. So, it's same time, same place next year. I can't wait.